Welcome back on this Thursday morning. Beautiful looking tower cam shot there. It's 14 minutes after 9 o'clock. Not the same conditions on the East Coast. Hurricane Erin now moving up that section of the country, creating very dangerous conditions in the Atlantic Ocean.
Fox's Caroline Elliott joins us live from Kitty Hawk, North Carolina to give us an impact. Caroline, the good thing is this storm, I mean, the eye of it way out in the water, but you guys right there on the coast still feeling it, that's for sure.
Yeah, Brandon, Lauren, it's hard to believe that Hurricane Erin's still a couple hundred miles offshore, because when you're standing on the beach, it certainly doesn't feel like it, especially with the wind. Right now, we're clocking wind gusts anywhere from 30, 40, 50 miles per hour in the Outer Banks region. And not only can you see the wind and see it really flapping around the hood, flapping around the jacket, but you can also even taste the wind. And what I mean by that is when these wind gusts move through, the sand is blowing everywhere, the sea mist blowing everywhere, and at times it's getting into your mouth. And it's, again, something you can see, something you can hear, and something you can taste as well. Now, the wind part of this story, but the other part of the story is behind us in the Atlantic Ocean. You can see that on a typical beach day, we're told these waves that are on a normal day about a foot high. Right now, that is not the case. In fact, we're told that these waves at times have gotten up to 15 feet high. And this pier on Kitty Hawk Beach has taken a beating over the last 24 hours, with waves crashing onto the pier over and over again. And a lot of the locals that came out to just check out some conditions earlier today, they were sitting on the pier. I would have to imagine they were getting absolutely soaked because of how high those waves were going. But the good news, as you mentioned, is that most of this is oceanfront activity, okay? We're not seeing any major flooding in the town of Kitty Hawk, and we do know that this is something that city crews prepared for in advance, really trying to build up those dunes to mitigate any flooding. Lauren, Brandon.
All right, Caroline Elliott, nice job live for us there in North Carolina. Appreciate it.
And Brandon, the superintendent of the Lancaster ISD, said, quote, "Our hearts are broken," and called this a time of unimaginable loss. 15-year-old Preston Malone III was a sophomore at Lancaster Early College High School. He played for the Tigers junior varsity football squad. The team was in the middle of an indoor conditioning drill on Monday afternoon when Preston alerted the coaching staff that he didn't feel well. He reportedly stopped sweating, a sign of heat stroke. Steps were taken in an effort to cool his body down, in keeping, the district says, with all UIL heat safety protocols and procedures. Malone was later taken to Children's Hospital in Dallas. It was there he suffered a heart attack and died Wednesday morning. District leaders say Preston was athletically and academically talented.
He was a Tiger. He was an exceptional student. I've been able to talk to some of our coaches this week about him, and all of them have stated that he did things the Tiger way. The Tiger way means that he excelled in everything that he did, and he will definitely be remembered for that.
Excelled at everything he did. District leaders say the focus now is on supporting Preston's family, teammates, and the entire Lancaster ISD community. Lancaster High School, meanwhile, canceled football practice for the rest of this week and canceled an upcoming scrimmage. There will be grief counselors available on campus here today. Live in Lancaster, Dan Godwin on Good Day.
Good morning. You know, the FBI director announced that Singh was arrested in India recently. Now, details surrounding her whereabouts or actual arrests have not yet been made public. But, you know, we spoke with the Everman police chief, who said news of her arrest is a major milestone with getting this case moving forward. Take a look. Cindy Rodriguez Singh's capture happened a month or so after she was put on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list. And she's accused of killing her 6-year-old son, Noel Rodriguez, Gomez Alvarez, then fleeing the country to India with her husband and her other children. Now, the case captured international attention when the special needs toddler was first reported missing in 2023. It was soon discovered that the little boy had not been seen alive since October 2022. Investigators said that Rodriguez Singh lied to them, claiming that the boy had been living in Mexico with his biological father.
Our citizens are very heavily invested in this case. This is a community. Everybody pulls together. They were all touched by this case, and they're all going to be a little bit relieved. Celebration would be the wrong word, but they're going to be happy that this part of it is over with, and now we move to the next.
Now, since the family fled to India, investigators brought in cadaver dogs and searched the property where the family lived in Everman. They even dug up a newly poured concrete slab near the shed where the family was living, but the boy's body has never been found. Now, the Everman police chief tells us that it's too early to know when Singh will be back here in Texas to face local authorities and be interviewed by them. Again, we do know that she is charged with capital murder, and the FBI director also says she now faces a federal charge of evading arrest. Live in Everman, Alex Boyer for Good Day.
Yeah, Brandon and Lauren, now that it's out of the lower chamber, the new map will be taken up by the Senate today. It passed the House 88-52 Wednesday. The new congressional map could give Republicans 5 new seats in Congress. Democrats left the state in protest, and once back in Texas, they filed amendments to continue stalling the vote. They criticized Republicans for not holding hearings on the map in the second special session. And before the vote, Republicans admitted the new map is designed to benefit their party.
You want transparency? Here's the U.S. Supreme Court legal transparency. The underlying goal of this plan is straightforward: improve Republican political performance.
So let's talk about cowardice and cheats. Because if you knew you could win this next election, you wouldn't be taking this effort to try to steal 5 seats from elected officials that members of color elected to represent them in Washington, D.C.
In North Texas, the new map would move Rep. Julie Johnson's District 32 seat from Dallas County to possibly stretching past Tyler in East Texas. The District 33 seat, held by Representative Mark Vesey, moves out of Tarrant County exclusively to Dallas County. And Jasmine Crockett will no longer live in the district she represents. There will be Democrat opposition again today in the Senate, but not enough to keep the bill from passing. A floor vote is expected tonight before it will then be sent to Governor Abbott for his signature. Brandon.
All right, Shannon, thanks. Within hours of the redistricting vote, Governor Abbott expanded the special session agenda. He wants to create harsher punishments for absent lawmakers. Galveston Republican Terry Leo Wilson quickly filed a bill that would remove a lawmaker from office if they miss 7 straight days of proceedings. It would not apply if the lawmaker is granted a leave of absence. More items on the agenda. Governor Abbott wants to make ivermectin available to over-the-counter. The drug is used to kill parasites. The second item agenda involves a groundwater study of East Texas aquifers.